Okay.
All right, brilliant. Right, Nikki, thank you again for doing this. And let's see if we can make this a really good conversation between us. So you were asking me then, what is life coaching? Basically, you haven't had it before. And I was just explaining that coaching really is a conversation between us both. But it's a conversation whereby it's not like having a conversation with your friend or a family member. I'm non-biased, I'm non-judgmental about you. I don't see you as a person who needs fixing or is broken in any way. I see you as a person that has the solutions inside her and just needs maybe a different perspective on the current issue or challenge that she's facing in her life, so that you feel more empowered after this conversation to know what choices to make for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit like going up a building where you can see different views from different levels. So you're seeing your life at one level, as we all do right now, especially when we're in the middle of something that we're trying to deal with. We're very in the middle of it, and we can only see it from one level.
Yeah.
It is about taking you up the floors so you can see it from a different perspective and take a different view, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay, good. Do work differently, like I said. I'm more holistic and more energy based. So I've created a system that I use, and I tune into your energy. Always tune into my client before we connect, and just to get a feel of what might be going on. And I use a system that uses, and this probably means nothing to you, I use a pendulum to get answers before we start. And I just ask a series of questions like what's the state of my client, what's she coming with, type of thing. And if it's okay, I can just tell you what I've found, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of these things can be really subconscious stuff that doesn't really relate to what's going on in your life right now. I work with the chakra system. The chakra system is an energetic system that runs through us all, and it's basically where our information goes to the physical body, to the outside world, and back again. It's just like this network of information that's being relayed from our environment to our physical body, and that information is interpreted by our subconscious mind, which basically our conscious thinking mind, which is you when you're making the decisions, runs on 5%. We only use 5% of our energy for that. 95% is our all automatic behavior, breathing, our liver functioning, our kidneys working, our lung, our brain, our blood, and then all this automatic behavior, that all the belief systems that we've got, all the triggers that we've got, all the meaning that we put on life based on our early experiences, that's all running in the subconscious programming as well.
Yeah.
And our experiences get stored in our system, and the chakra system can tell me what theme it's about, where the blockage is, and what the emotion is that's there in the energy field.
Okay.
So what I got for you right now is there's some emotional conflict going on, and it's affecting your, now this can be one or a few, tell me if it resonates. It's either afflicting your creativity, your fun, your self-expression, your play, your intimacy, relationships, and romance. Does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Yeah.
And the blockage isn't, well, it's not a blockage, it's just something there that's presenting itself as the biggest area to work on today, because I don't know what you wanted to work on, and we might not go here.
Yeah.
Gonna work with what you want to work with. I'm just letting you know what I found. But in the heart, the issue is in the heart, and it's around loss. And I know briefly you mentioned something earlier, which I won't mention. You're free.
No, I don't mind. It's okay.
So I know that you mentioned about that trauma that you've experienced, and I don't know how long ago that was, but this is just what's come up now.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that we need to work there, but because that's not you might not consciously be having an issue with that right now.
Yeah.
It's just presented itself to me on an energetic level.
Yeah.
And what I will do is I will give you a technique to use. So when we're not together, you can use this to unblock the energy that's there.
Okay.
And it's a tapping technique. I don't know if you've heard of EFT.
No.
I'll show you what it is later. It just works on these energy points on the face and the hand.
Okay.
So I'll find out which one is going to be beneficial to you to use, and I'll tell you
Great.
that later.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so let's start off. So what is happening in your life right now? If we were to make this conversation really useful to you, where would you like to work? What's going on?
Where to start, really? I suppose one of the things that I wrote down last night before my computer kind of switched itself off, was that I suppose I've grown up in quite a negative environment around people that would always make the negative out of a situation. And I just feel now, kind of realizing that has affected me and the decisions that I make and the way I am, and I don't actually want to be like that anymore. I want to be a more positive person, and I want to be that positive person now, because I don't want my kids to feed off that like clearly I have. I kind of live my life, it's too hectic, it's too busy. I need to build in more time for me, and I want to be more of a mindful person. I've kind of started reading kind of more self-development books, which is a great start, I think, for me, because I think it's been, over the summer, the books that I've read have been really useful. I'd like to be able to chill out better. I'd like to be able to bring myself down more easily when I'm feeling really stressed. But I've really struggled with meditation, and being in that highly stressful state, to then kind of just being able to go, okay, just stop, focus on your breathing. And because honestly, it sounds really bizarre, but when I have stopped and tried to focus on my breathing, I get panicky and feel like I don't know how to breathe properly anymore. It's bizarre. So really being more positive and being more mindful, and kind of getting to grips with the fact that there's stuff in business that, because I've got a couple of businesses, that things go wrong, but it'll always be all right most of the time. And having been through the loss of the babies, I kind of think you should know that, when these situations happen, nobody's died. It's no great shakes. Why are you getting stressed about things that don't matter? And I kind of know they don't matter because it's my business, I think it really gets to me. And actually, it's affecting my health now. So it's really important for me to know how to cope and just deal with things differently.
Tell me about the things that go wrong that you connect to in that way, where it's a bit over the top or over exaggerated, that or consciously things go wrong, but there's something about that going wrong that you attach to. And what does it do to you when that happens? Tell me about who you become.
Well, for example, in my work, I wake up in the morning, one of the first things I'll do is I'll look at my phone to see if any of my staff have called in sick. Because in general, if they've called in sick, that means that I have to cover them. Because in my type of work, there's not really a bank of people that are sitting at home waiting to do cover. So I'll read that message, I'll feel sick, my heart starts racing, and I'll just go into a state of panic, really, I suppose. So I just want to attack that really in a calm way and think, 9 times out of 10 it'll be okay, it can be sorted. Just approach it differently and calmly, and don't let it affect me physically the way it does, because it's not helping.
That's really good, and I think this will be really helpful for you, because one of the areas that we'll look at, the model that I use, we look at the story, who you become in that moment, because it's an energy, it's like a personality that comes out of us that we become in that moment. It's not the normal you, it's not the true you, you know. When we get panicky, we become this person, you know, and it's like, we're going to look at who you become. So you become a spectator of yourself when you're in the middle of that panic mode. Then we'll look at how it affects you physically, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually, which is just about connecting to the self. No religion associated with this whatsoever. The spirituality is just finding that point inside yourself where you feel connected and grounded. So we'll look at that, and then we'll look at you at your best. Who are you at your best? So it's about helping you when this thing might come on again, that you can disassociate more and know that this is a story, this is what I'm telling myself, and this is why I go into this behavior model of physically reacting. There'll be emotional stuff, there'll be belief system stuff. And it's really interesting what you said about growing up in that environment. What I was saying about the subconscious mind is, when we're kids, especially between 0 to 7, we're like sponges, absorbing all the information that's going on in our environment to other people. Like, we are just watching, observing and learning, and that becomes us. Until we get to a point where you are now, and you go, actually, this hope you don't mind me swearing, this shit isn't mine. This is theirs, but I don't know how to get rid of it because it's in me for so long, but it's not doing me any favors. And actually, it was never yours to begin with. Okay. So I used the tarot in a little bit. Just because I'm into symbols and things like that, it allows us to bypass the conscious mind and go a bit deeper into the psyche. So what the card I got for you right now is the Hanged Man. And what that means is about seeing things differently. So this is the energy that you're kind of stepping into, or wants you to step into, is start to see things differently, which is exactly what you just said you want to do. All right. Now, I kind of don't want to connect the dots and put words in your mouth, but just with the heart chakra coming up on your reading and the thing around loss, did you feel this way before your trauma happened with the babies? About if this went wrong, if the situation went wrong before you had this traumatic experience, did you react the same way?
Probably not so much. It's probably more exaggerated now, I would think. And I don't know why, because it should be less, because what can be worse than that? I think I always should think this is so minor compared to reality. It's to what happens in other people's lives in reality. Why am I getting so stressed about something that, yes, it matters, but it's not life and death?
Yes, I know you know that consciously. But what we know about what lives in us and what can trigger stuff in us that we don't consciously know is there is where the transformation takes place. So what's really interesting for you is to really dig deep about what it is that you're attaching to this work situation, to how you feel, because everything has to have a meaning, otherwise it's just meaningless. So when something happens, like people aren't turning up and you're going into panic mode, you're putting meaning on that meaning has a story attached to it, like people always let me down,
exactly,
can't trust anyone. That's the meaning, you see. That is the story that then triggers us to behave, changes our physiological state. So that's what we'll explore, if that's all right with you. Okay, right, so let's go into looking at who you become when this kicks in. Well, tell me about who you have become now. If you were different before this experience, Who do you feel that you are now?
I was probably similar in that I am very passionate about what I do, and because we work with kids, I think I can't let anyone. I suppose my big worry is I can't let anyone down, and that's the crux of it. I can't let the settings where I work, I can't let them down, can't let the kids down, can't let the parents down. So at the end of the day, we've got this great machine working, but if one of the cogs kind of goes a bit pear-shaped, it's all down to me. I suppose that's the worry, the biggest concern. And that, I mean, the most of the time it doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, and if other kind of work situations come up that cause to challenge me, I can go into this person that just panics, and I don't think I was always like that. It's kind of as I've got older, or I don't know, maybe the business has grown, or I've taken on more, maybe.
Okay, so tell me about this person that you know you become. If you could just see it outside of yourself, like put it on a TV screen and just see you in the middle of it when it's at its absolute peak and it takes over you.
Yeah.
Tell me what you would call that if it were a movie. What would it be called?
The woman that goes over the top and she needs to take a chill pill. It'll be all right on the night, because generally it always is, but I go through these motions of extreme behavior, and most of the time there's no need.
It's all right. This is good stuff, because you're recognizing actually that's who I am, you know, outside of my normal reality. That's who I turn into. So that's good. So let's stick with the woman that goes over the top. Does that feel poignant for you?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So when you look at that character, I say characters and archetypes, because they're like just projections of us. And we go into them all the time, by the way. Like, we have hundreds of them. Like right now, I'm the coach, you know, and when you step into your role, you become that role. So we have all these different archetypes, these energy types. So when you are the woman that goes over the top, just tell me what happens to you physically. You've already said, like, the heart goes. What else?
Yeah, so I'll get heart palpitations. I'll probably get like a stress headache as well.
Yeah.
And I literally can't think straight because there's too much going through my head. I need to just really sit, calm down, and kind of like go through the issues methodically, which I do in the end because I have to. But the initial feeling and even physically how it makes me feel, it's horrible.
Just tell me about it. What happens to your energy levels physically? Let's say 10 was your optimal physical power. Where does the woman who goes over the top take you to physically? How low does she?
Well, I can feel the adrenaline kick in. So that whole fight or flight, like as if you're going to have to run away from a lion or something, that all, it just pours in straight away, because I feel, right, okay, you've got to sort this out. This is down to you. So the adrenaline, you can feel it. I can actually feel it coming in. I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Right. This is down to you. You've got to sort this situation out. And it can be in the middle of something. So then it's tricky, because if I'm in the middle of something else, or if I'm teaching somewhere else, then I've still got to, you know, work out how I'm going to sort it out. So physically, it's a lot, you know, definitely.
And when that comes in, where do you feel it in your body?
In my head, probably. I can definitely feel it in my heart and my head.
Your heart and your head. Yeah, that's really, really interesting. All right. So it's definitely want to help you with the heart area. So heart and head. Brilliant. When I tuned into you before we had the session, all I felt was it's just all up here. It's just all up here.
Yeah.
There's a kind of disconnect from here, although I did pick up on something in your lower belly, your lower abdomen. and I don't know if it was just to one side. So I don't know if you have any issues going on, like one side of your stomach. Don't worry about it if you don't. I just felt a denser energy there.
All right.
Definitely, like
Yeah.
up in my head, which
definitely.
yeah, and you know, I am a lot as well most days, and I have to ground myself a lot. And do you know what? It's a practice, and you have to sometimes force yourself to do it to know that you're more productive, even if you want to do it because you're saying, I'm too busy to like chill out or walk or take a break, but you become more productive by managing your energy. So that's brilliant. So we know how it helps disables you physically. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best you could ever feel, it takes you down to?
Oh my God, a 1, definitely.
Oh God. Okay. And what about emotionally? Like you said some words there. What emotions come up for you when this shit is on?
Too extreme for reality, really, and I know I'm too extreme. So I'll get really anxious. I'll probably get like a bit upset.
Oh, yeah.
I'm frustrated.
Okay. What's lying underneath all of that?
Ooh. Oh. I'm not a very good person of talking about emotions and how I feel, and even taking time to even think about me. So this is going to be quite tricky. So what, I don't know what is underneath all that. I think sometimes I'm sick of it all being about me having to sort everything out, you know. And I've always been a very independent person from when I was little. So maybe I've just come to the point where I think, why is it always down to me to sort everything out? But that is just the way it is, and I have to accept it and just learn to truck on like I've always done. I don't know.
Well, there's that way to look at it, but then if we were to fast forward you carrying on like that for in 3 years, 5 years time, and we were to have a conversation and you just trucked on like you normally do, what do you think our conversation, you know, what would you be saying to me then? Would you be saying I'm living the best life? Or
no, and that's what I'm worried about, really, because that it's not good physically or mentally or any way to carry on like that. So that's why I think over this summer I've thought things need to change, and I can make some changes within me. And that's when your post came up, I thought, well, that's, you know, another good place to start.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you for taking advantage of it. So yeah, that's cool. Don't worry if I lose your face, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, you're cool, don't worry. All right, so it's interesting because anxiousness, being upset and frustrated, they're like the result of something deeper. Now, I know it's hard to find the words to emotions because when we're not that way, it's just not in our vocabulary. But if you were just to take a minute and just to tune in to the heart and just say, what is the underlying emotion that could be supporting all these other ones or triggering all these other ones? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Oh. There isn't really. I mean, I suppose the biggest emotion that I've had to cope with that could be underlying is loss. Could be.
Does the statements that you make about it's always you having to clear up the crap from is that attached to this in any way?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, it's not just work life that happens, it happens in personal life and with family, really, that it does come to me to do a lot of sorting stuff out for other people. So it's everywhere. And sometimes there's not much escape from that, you know, when it's family, sometimes friends and work. It's when do you escape that, really?
Yeah, I totally understand. How are you feeling right now when you kind of, because you're allowing yourself to express yourself and go there?
I don't like it because I don't go there. So it makes, oh God, it makes me a bit upset.
Of course, yeah.
Jeez. See, I don't allow myself to get upset because I just crack on, really. So I don't think about it. I just do it. So I suppose when I do think about it, it affects you a bit more.
Mm. Can I just like honor you, like woman to woman, person to person, and say that I think you're amazing right now. And just for you to share this space with me is just, I'm really graced by you being here with me and sharing this stuff and giving yourself permission and giving me permission to take you to places that I know are painful. But this is where the transformation comes in. When you can start to see how you are running a version of yourself that actually is screaming out for some nurture and for some attention and to change things slightly, then your life will change for the better.
Yeah, I think I've realised that in many ways that it's now or never, really. And I don't really like the look of what that version of me looks like to carry on the same. So I've got to do it.
Only small little shifts. And you know what? Like, you don't have to make big external changes unless they're necessary. The biggest, most powerful change comes from a little internal shift that no one else needs to be aware of except you. And those little shifts in you ripple out and have tremendous effect on your outside reality. Everything outside of ourselves is in some way a reflection of how what's going on inside. Life's like a mirror, do you know what I mean? So when you can start to even just bring an awareness in by us having this conversation is going to be a trigger for you to know exactly what you need to do and change in the moment.
Well, that sounds amazing. And I think I totally believe what you've said, that life is like a mirror. And I think when you know that you're just not right, everything's off balance, I think I can't properly progress with other things until I've got myself right. And it's going to be obvious to my kids, to people that I work with, because I feel like there's a bit of a bit of a storm inside me it's never settled, that like the weather's always turbulent inside, and I don't want people to see that. So sometimes I can be quite good at putting on a bit of an act, but I don't want that. I want it to be calm, and be able to cope with the storms as and when they come, but not for it always to be like that inside. So I think that it's a realization that, you know, I don't really know what I need to do, but I know I need to do something. So obviously having this conversation, I feel, you know, is a great start.
Have you had counselling for the loss and the grief?
I went to a couple of sessions and it was just awful, so I didn't bother after that. No.
Okay, it might be something that you want to pick up on.
I think it depends if you found the right person, doesn't it? Because my husband and I went, we were in a room and they just kind of it was silent most of the time, and I just found it really awkward. So I think it just depends, I think, who you get and what type of therapy they offer.
I definitely agree with that, because I've had different types of therapy, and if I've not gelled with the person, it's actually made me feel a bit worse.
I agree.
But my advice is that this issue has probably not been dealt with, and it needs it needs you to be really delicate with yourself.
Okay.
My advice is, it's up to you. You know yourself best, but my advice obviously is, if it's still there, find someone who can help you through that. And I can still work with you. Just find someone who can help you through that part of it.
Yeah.
So we can hear the belief systems, and actually the story that's backing all this up is that you are the one who has to shoulder the burden for everything and everyone. And it's obviously been maybe like a lifelong belief thing that you've carried through child, that you've always had to be the one to be in this role. And now it's like tables are turning, and actually you're possibly getting to a point where it's like, well, what about me?
Yeah, I am. I think it's an age thing as well. And you think, you know, life's not forever. I don't want to feel like this forever. It's actually making me a little bit ill. So no, this is my time, and I want to be the best person I can be for my kids, and I've not allowed that. I mean, obviously, you know, they're my world and I'll do anything, but I think I'm not the best version of me for them if I feel like this, and I don't want them to be like this either.
Yeah. Tell me about the best version of you. Can you connect to that?
I don't know what words to use, really.
Well, let's see it as a movie again. Just project it out, so you just have a little bird's eye view of what you look like when you're being your best self.
Okay, I'd probably be laughing with my friends. I'd be out dancing. I wouldn't be caring about anything. I'd know that my kids were safe at home and being looked after, so that I could just relax and just do what I wanted.
What would it be called if it were a movie again? Getting back to who you are. I don't know, something like that. If this was you at your very best, was that what it would be called? Tell me about that, you know, the last time when you can see yourself being at your very best. If you were to look at her then, and you were to give it a movie title, what would it be?
Oh God. Oh, I'm struggling with that one. It would be about me doing what was right for me.
So what about if I start it, the girl that
found herself again?
Yeah, I love it. The girl that found herself again. I love that. I'd go and see that. Okay, that's brilliant. So tell me about this character. So she's relaxed, she's having fun, she knows everybody that matters to her is taken care of, the kids, and you know, she's in the flow, she's with her friends, she's connected. Like, what happens physically? How are your energy levels compared to?
Well, there'd definitely be no storms or hurricanes going on inside. There'd be calm waters and just a sense of peace and relaxed, I suppose, and knowing that, I suppose, if anything cropped up, I mean, less is likely to go wrong, but if it did, that it would be dealt with better, because you know, you'd be starting from a good, calm starting point.
When was the last time you felt that way?
I can't even tell you. 30 years ago.
Okay.
How bad is that?
That's a long time ago.
It's too long.
That's a long time ago, so we better get you to this movie quick.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So let's take a look at, now that was you 30 years ago. You've changed since then, and you will have got different strengths. You've had different experiences. You know, our whole body changes every 7 years. We're like a completely different person, but our belief systems obviously stay the same unless we change them. Like, if you were to not go back, obviously, in time, because that girl's 30 years ago. Like, who is it that you want to become now?
I do actually want to become that girl 30 years ago. I keep saying to my friends that once the kids are a bit grown up, I want to almost go back there and relive that. And I want my second wind.
Yeah.
I want to feel more free. I want to feel that I can go and conquer and do whatever I want in my own time, not have to answer anyone, and just feel that sense of freedom again.
Freedom. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How much does freedom resonate with you when you say that word?
Well, again, that goes back to donkey's years since I felt that, really, but that, I suppose that's kind of in line with getting married, having the only jobs that I've ever had really they require 110% of you. Then obviously the responsibility of having kids, so that sense of freedom, that went out the window donkey's years ago, really. But I think it was taken really more by the job choices that I've made.
Would you say freedom is a big value to you? Like, values are the things that we find most important to us. We might not be aligned to them or living them out, but we know at a core level it's really important to us.
I think it is really important, but I wonder if it's up there because I haven't allowed myself to feel that, though. So I'd have to question that, really.
Well, that's fine, because if it's really important to you, like, it's a value. If you're not aligned to your value, or your life is not living out the value of freedom, you'll feel that conflict.
Yeah, I think I do feel that conflict, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. And obviously, it's keeping it in it's working with what you've got now, with the environment that you've got now. It's how you can create more freedom, or just feel a sense of freedom. Because when you do the woman who goes over the top and the story kicks in, I have to take care of everyone, it's only me, I've got this massive responsibility, and it affects your health and your emotions, how free do you feel in that moment?
Zero.
Yeah, you feel trapped. Okay. So just going back to the girl that's found herself again, and the place that you're going to come back to. Physically, if you were to get a picture of her, what does she look like physically?
A lot thinner than I do now. Well, not just thinner, a lot healthier. I should say a lot healthier, because I think how I've been feeling as it shows. I would like to be able to go to the gym more often, go to classes more often, which is on the list of things that I will conquer and I need to get on top of, because that does make me feel good mentally and physically. So that girl would look a lot fitter. She'd probably be laughing more. She would find the time to blow dry her hair straight so that she looked nice, rather than just stick it up on the top of her head, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
And what about emotionally? What would she be feeling?
Well, she wouldn't worry as much. she definitely, when things cropped up, wouldn't take it to the next level, and she wouldn't, like I do now, think of the worst case scenario and then work backwards to, well, if that doesn't happen, then that's the solution. But if that, I work backwards, I do think of the worst case scenario, and I want to be the opposite of that. So she'd feel more happy and free because she'd approach things differently, everything differently.
Yeah. So freedom is such a conundrum, because we can look outside of ourselves and go, these are the reasons why I'm not free. Work, husband, kids, house, dog, cleaning, family. Really, freedom, it's in the mind.
Yeah. Because I'm grateful for all those things that you've just said as well, and I'm lucky to have a lot of those things.
Yeah, of course. But freedom, it's a mental thing, because it's attached to, well, I've got to do this, and this, which means I'm not free.
Yeah.
So it is a mental thing that can, and obviously a spiritual, a heart level thing that can create the shift where we feel a sense of freedom. And actually, a good point of what you've just said, everything that we do is a choice, and there's gratitude to be had and appreciation for all those responsibilities, if you like, that you've actually got. But we can lose connection with that when we're in that.
I think I have a little bit. Yeah,
of course. We do, don't we? We lose appreciation. So one of the things that you can do is to use appreciation as a technique to help you cultivate these positive emotions inside yourself.
Okay.
For example, when I was going through a really shitty time in my life, and I was like feeling like just everything had gone to pot, and I was waking up every day, I was feeling depressed, I was feeling really heavy, I just couldn't be bothered with anything. The only thing that I could find appreciation for, and I did it because I knew it would help, was when I opened my back door and I saw the sunlight and I took a nice deep breath in.
Yeah.
In that moment, it helped me cultivate positive emotions of appreciation, and that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
That's something that you could maybe try to bring in those emotions, to make that shift of freedom. When you think about this girl, this new you, this energy that you've got, that is already there, she's just been neglected, where does she feel in relation to your physical body? Does she feel to the side, back, forward?
Forward.
Far away, or?
Yeah.
All right. If you're happy, I'll just take you through a little visualization technique. If that is that so?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll just require you to close your eyes. It'll only be a minute or two.
Okay.
All right. So when you're ready, just start to take some nice deep breaths.
Okay.
And just when you're ready, just close your eyes.
Okay.
Start to concentrate on the area of the heart. I want you to try and imagine your heart center expanding a little bit more. You can just simply imagine breathing out of the heart center, and every breath just expands that energy around the heart. You may even start to feel or sense a color that starts to spread from the heart center. That's just bringing in a vibration. And on the next deep breath that you take out, I want you to breathe out appreciation. And breathe in appreciation. And breathe out appreciation. Bringing to mind everything that you appreciate in your life. You may even allow those things that you hadn't thought about before, that you didn't even know you appreciated, they might just pop into your mind's eye now. And as you start to bring in that sense of appreciation, just imagine it washing over you or blowing over you. It could be like you feel or sense some fresh air or cool air just run from your head right the way down to the tips of your toes. And then I want you just to connect with the girl outside of you. You know where she is. I just want you to imagine a cord of connection that runs from your heart right the way through to her heart. Could have a colour. But just start to see her coming a bit closer through this cord. Just notice what she's doing, how she looks, how healthy she is. Just notice her body and how she's laughing. Just notice how relaxed she feels. Just notice that she feels and looks so free. And she absolutely appreciates everything in her life. Even the stresses that she has to deal with, that's okay. She knows she's got this. And she knows that she can speak out. Because when she's free from burden. She sees it for what it is. And if she needs help, she'll ask for it. She's more than capable. She's more than capable of dealing with it, and she's more than capable of delegating. Just keep bringing her so close to you until it feels like a nice, comfortable position where she can just stay there. If she's got anything to tell you, any messages, any advice, or a final goodbye, just let that happen now. And then you can either see the cord dissolve, or you can keep it there a little bit if it feels comfortable for you. And then I'll take a nice, deep, slow breath in, just breathing all that energy into your body again, right down to your toes. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How did that feel?
It was good. The cord was made out of glitter.
Oh, look at that.
I think the cord is attached because I think I need to keep in touch with that girl. And remember that that is who I can turn into, and I've just got to believe that can happen.
It may be when a crisis comes up or a situation comes up that you become this person. You could even like snap your fingers. It could be a little.
I hope so.
Pardon?
I hope so.
Try it. It could be, give yourself an anchor, whatever works for you, and just step into that energy. Now, what I'm going to do just before we go, I'm going to work with the energy of the woman who goes over the top.
Okay.
I'm gonna just ask you again, just to get a sense of where that energy feels in relation to your physical body.
When I have that awful feeling, it's torn between my head and my heart.
Does it feel like it's at the back of you, at the side of you, on top of you? Like, where, if you were just to tune into that?
Probably on top of me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is just to either move yourself, just so you feel like you're in that energy. Okay. And just close your eyes again for me. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little dialogue, a little conversation with this energy. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
This energy is going to talk to us. It's not necessarily going to be you. It's going to be this energy who's got a voice. So I'd like to speak to the energy of the woman that goes over the top. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And do you have a name?
Oh. Pressure.
Okay. And how long have you been with Nikki?
Oh my God. 30 years.
Okay. All right. And in relation into Nikki's body, where do you live? Where do you sit?
Probably in her heart, in her chest.
Okay. And what's your job? What's your role in Nikki's life?
To cause stress and anxiety on a regular basis.
And what's the purpose for that?
No idea.
What's your main purpose? What's your main job? Is it to help her get things done, or?
No, it's going to ruin her life.
Okay. What do you really want for Nikki?
Should leave.
Or do you want the best for her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's it like living with Nikki?
Oh God. I don't really know what to say, to be honest.
So just let the energy of pressure talk. You get out the way.
That I'm around too much then.
Okay. You're around too much.
That the pressure shouldn't be there as often as it is.
Do you think you're too present in her life?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So it's good to know that you want the best for her, because every energy that I talk to always wants the best for the person that they're working with, and there's normally a purpose to them being there. And this is obviously pressure. What is the purpose of you being there, giving her these messages that she's doing too much?
Maybe to make her realise that things need to change, and that it's not healthy for her to feel this way too so much, and things need to change.
Okay. Would it be okay if I were to ask you to move out of her body, so that you take a big step backwards or sideways, just so Nikki can now feel that she's the one in control of her life? Would that be okay with you?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to let Nikki know before you do that?
Don't know.
Okay. Is there any final message or piece of advice that you have for her? It's fine if you
don't know.
Okay. So thank you for talking with me, and I just ask you now just to take that big step out of Nikki's body, whichever way feels right for you. Thank you. So just take a nice deep breath in, Nikki, and just shift your body a little bit. Just shake that energy.
Okay.
Well done. You'll probably feel tired after this because it's quite a lot of work.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Strange, first of all, from kind of spending this much time thinking about myself. It's been interesting just to even think about your emotions and actually how you really feel, and to visualize what you want things to be like. And I just don't think often, I suppose, as women, you kind of get time to do that or can see it.
Quite often we can't see it when we're in the middle of it. We just can't see it. And that's what connection's about. It's elevating you. You know, what do you want? Who are you when you're at your best? And can you see how your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual body reacts when you're being this person who do it all? And now you've brought that girl closer to you, that energy that you want to embody, who will help you. And that heavy pressure energy has gladly taken a step back from you so you can feel free. So we don't want the girl who's found herself again to be running the show for you all the time, and we don't want the pressure energy to be running the show for you all the time. They've both got a purpose and will help you. Sometimes you're going to need to kick into pressure mode to get things you need that. And at times we need the other girl as well. So it's separating the energies so they're not you, you know, somewhere in the middle of those two energy types is you. And it's to put you back in the driving seat.
I agree.
That makes sense.
It does.
All right.
And to find a nice balance that is you. What is the balance of you between all those things?
Exactly. When one energy is like ruling our life for us, we're like why have I even done this? But I don't know why, but it's because this dominant energy archetype is the one that's like saying yes, saying no, doing this, doing that, and you're like, hang on, where have I gone? Who am I? So it's giving them a voice and understanding, you know, what they're about and what purpose they're serving, and then actually going, okay guys, like, you can be there and you can be over there, because actually I want to have a say now. I hope that's helped.
Definitely. Thank you.
My pleasure. And what I'll do is I'll find the tapping point that's going to work for you, and I'll send you a little email. Okay.
Fab. Thanks.
Keep in touch with me. Let me know how things unfold for you, and if you need anything, you know where I am. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, and thank you.
I'll speak to you again. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Bye. Bye.